All right, a few important pieces of news came down last week, so kind of collected them. Let's go through them. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right, we have a lot to go through and not a lot of time. Not a lot of time. Time is not indefinite, but as always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario.World. Also follow my Facebook page, Super Dario World. I update everything I do there. So let's get into all the fun stuff. And I'm going to try a new different format here again. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing video once again. You can check that out on my YouTube channel. And on video, I will just be either showing an image of what I'm talking about or straight up the website that I'm going to be talking about. So here you go. Hopefully it's big enough. You can check it out. First piece of news. The first piece of news, this comes directly from Disney, more specifically Star Wars, StarWars.com. It's been announced by Lucasfilms that we will be getting a new Star Wars animated series. This one is called The Bad Batch. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with The Bad Batch, they're actually characters that appeared in the final season of, Star Wars, The Clone Wars. It was a great season. It was a great final season. They appeared for about a third of it, and it was great. I actually found it pretty weird that they do not appear at the ending of the series. Now it's understandable why. Supposedly, according to this article right here, in this particular sentence right here, the story will take place. By the way, the Bad Batch is a group of clone soldiers who, let's just say, came out defective and had different qualities, and also they don't look like all the other clones. So they're special, they're different, they're kind of more badass. Anyway, supposedly the story will take place in a post-Clone War era, and they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. Now, the interesting thing here is that clones supposedly age faster than regular people, so it's yet unclear if these clones will be aging normally or not, considering that they are the Bad Batch. They also they added a new member who was a regular clone. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to handle it, but it's going to be interesting to see how the events at the end of Clone Wars affect them. It's going to be interesting to see, the expansion of the Empire, why they decided to leave, a whole bunch of stuff. Honestly, I'm very excited for this series. I talked about Star Wars Clone Wars. I highly recommended it. It's probably the best thing that they've done with the Star Wars brand in TV. And the ending was just amazing. It was perfect. I loved the ending of that series, so I highly recommend that, and I'm very excited for this. Supposedly will debut on Disney Plus in 2021. Moving on, let's move a little bit to the video game world, and Xbox or Microsoft has announced a Xbox Games Showcase. Supposedly they will be showing all the exclusives that the Xbox is going to have. For those of you who don't know what the Xbox is, it's the Xbox Series X, which is called Xbox from now on, and I fully expect all of you to call it the Xbox from now on too. Supposedly, they will be showcasing all their exclusive video games on July 23rd at 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's estimated it's going to last about an hour. And let me tell you something, Microsoft needs this bad. The Xbox needs this bad. PlayStation, Sony, what they showed with the PS5 and the games, the exclusives that they're bringing, they kicked the Xbox's ass very, very easily, very, very handily. This is going to be it's looking to be another Xbox One, PS4 type of beatdown. It's bad. They need to show us good exclusives, and Halo might not be enough. All right, all right. I mean, they need Halo obviously because that's probably their biggest franchise, but they need to show more. Honestly, right now, I'm not impressed with this Xbox. I mean, basically, it's a more powerful Xbox. It's going to be a more powerful Xbox and a less powerful computer. So, I don't have any particular reason why I should get it over the PS4 as of this second. And from what I've read in articles, pre-sales for the PS5 are far, far higher than the pre-sales for this Xbox. So Honestly, I'm curious to see what they're going to show. The weird thing here is that it's taking place on July 23rd, and I guess for those of you who don't know, Comic-Con is going to be online this year. It's going to be from home, and it's taking place from July 22nd to the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. So it's right in the middle of Comic-Con. Now, I guess I'll probably talk about Comic-Con tomorrow. I was waiting for Comic-Con week. I haven't really noticed anything that I'm particularly excited about. But this is right smack dab in the middle of it. And it's not like they didn't know when Comic-Con was going to be. Like, Comic-Con was announced quite a while ago. So this is weird. It's a weird move. Maybe they're going to do something alongside Comic-Con. That would make sense, hopefully. But competing against it right now, bad moves, Microsoft. All right, you know what? I'll wait and see the results. But right now, it seems like you're kind of just stepping in it one more time. Now, let's moving on to a little bit of movie news. A movie that's been delayed a lot. It's Black Widow, the newest Marvel movie. Everybody's very excited about that. And the director kind of released a bizarre piece of news that I don't quite understand. So the director for this movie is Kate Shortland, and she confirmed that the prequel will, quote, hand the baton of Black Widow to Florence Pugh. Now, for those of you who don't know who Florence Pugh is, she's going to be playing the sister of Natasha Romanoff here in the prequel, in the Black Widow movie. She also played one of the sisters in the one. She was actually the Florence Pugh. I thought she was the best performance in the movie. She's also appeared in Midsummer. She's appeared in a whole bunch of other films. She's actually a pretty legit actress. And to me, like I said, I thought that they robbed her of the Oscar. I don't remember the girl. I don't remember who won the Oscar. It was the lawyer from A Marriage Story, and I think that was bullshit. Because here she plays like you can legit believe that she's a teenager and a grown woman. So her performance was great. It was probably the only thing I liked about that movie. Anyway, so supposedly her character is going to be taking on the baton of Black Widow, and her character is Yelena Belova. Which, honestly, is a very stupid thing for a director to say, and brings up a whole bunch of questions. Now I have a whole bunch of questions. I was planning on seeing the movie anyway because it looks like a spy movie with superheroes in it, which I'm all in. If it's closer to Winter Soldier than anything else, I'm super excited about it. But them saying that in this movie they're going to be passing on the baton is weird. Now let me just read you the quote from an interview. Kevin Feige realized that the audience would expect an origin story, so, of course, we went in the opposite direction, and we didn't know how great Florence Pugh would be. We knew she would be great, but we didn't know how great. Scarlett is so gracious, like, oh, I'm handing her the baton, so it's going to propel another female storyline. So, weird things here. So, First off, I have no issues with them continuing the Black Widow storyline, particularly because I've never been a fan of Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, mainly because she doesn't even try to make a Russian accent. Yet, it is not difficult to make Russian accent. See, this mediocre accent, but still better than not even fucking trying, okay? It's, at least Florence, it looks like she's gonna do that, and it's a very important thing. You know what's the first thing, the first way you describe Black Widow? Like, can you describe me who Black Widow is? She's a Russian spy! That's the first thing you use to describe fucking Black Widow, okay? So, it's always bugged me. I've never been a big Scarlett Johansson guy. Florence Pugh is a way better actress, and what I could tell from the trailer, she's actually trying to put on a Russian accent, which is good. It may lead to actually better movies. I just don't like the fact that they're telling this to us beforehand, because now I know I'm going to walk into that movie theater knowing, oh, this chick's going to come out alive, right? Before I read this article, I did not know if that character was going to survive. I didn't know if anybody was going to survive. And now I have other questions. Like, well, where was she during Infinity War? Where was this character during Endgame? Where was so many things? It brings too many complications. I guess part of it is, trying to figure it out. But why the fuck would you tell us this? It's just a big, massive spoiler, which I guess now I'm guilty of too, because I just kind of did the same thing. So, sorry. Spoiler alert. Anyway, on par with this, like I said, we don't know when this movie's going to come out because everything's been delayed. And we have another complication here, another wrench that's been thrown in our gears, so to speak. And that's that California has indefinitely closed down movie theaters once again. What does this mean? A lot of major complications. Basically, they closed down a whole bunch of stuff. The Governor Newsom closed down a whole bunch of stuff. Fitness centers, places of worship. Basically, anything where you hang out inside has been shut down. Restaurants on the inside shut down. It really upsets me. I'm really upset about this one. But what's confusing here is that there's a bunch of movies that are coming out that they were reslated. I believe Disney's Mulan, The New Mutants, which I still don't think is going to come out. Christopher Nolan's Tenet. It's supposed to come. Those are supposed to be coming out in August. Bill and Ted's what is it? Face the Music is supposed to be coming out in August. But if they are closing down the theaters in California only, what does that mean for the rest of the country? Like, is the rest of the country still going to be open? How are they going to handle this? Honestly, I'm very curious because I don't know if you guys know this, but Hollywood is in California, and but is it a big film market? Like, would you sacrifice? Like, if all the other states are open, would you just not be like, all right, fuck it, we need to make money now. We just want this to be out, and Californians can just go fuck themselves. I don't know, but it's been a major source of headaches for me, this whole lockdown thing, that we locked down again. Because for those of you who don't know, I worked in the restaurant industry. It's my second job, and it really annoys me. And actually, recently, I started going into the COVID numbers again just because I like doing this to myself. And recently, I spent a lot of time in a hospital because I had to do a whole bunch of tests. I had a whole bunch of tests made. And I asked a nurse there something that had been bugging me. I wanted confirmation. I'd read rumors about it on the internet, but I wanted confirmation. And so I asked her, and she confirmed it. What I had heard on the internet is that the reason why the numbers had been going up so high, the COVID numbers had been going so high, the positives had been going up so rapidly. It's because when you test positive for COVID, they test you again to make sure it wasn't a false positive. And if you did have it, you test positive once again, and they count both of them in the statistics. So one person counts as positive twice in the statistics. That's why they exploded so freaking crazy. That's why it went so high so fast, because they're recounting the same people when they're verifying the test, and they don't count the false positives. At least this is what one simple nurse told me. That's how they report them. Take that however you want them. That's exactly what she told me. But to me, it makes kind of sense. And the thing that really bugs me is the numbers. When you go down to the numbers, the death numbers, because I like going into the statistics and stuff. I like seeing how dangerous things really are. And to me, it just seems a whole bunch of bullshit. And you can see right here, these are the death statistics in the U.S. So far, from all this time, this started like what? February, March? In the biggest state, the one's been hardest hit, is, well, let's just say these are the states that they have been, thrown that everybody's been complaining about. These are the states that were open pretty much the whole time. That everybody's like, oh, they're gonna kill us. So the ones that were open: Florida, 4,600 deaths; Texas, 3,700 deaths. Which one was also open? Arizona, 2,500 deaths. All right. So I'll say them again. Florida, 4,600. Florida's very bad, right? It's open. Everybody and their grandma is going to be dying in Florida because they were open this whole time. They're the most responsible. Texas, 3,700. Texas are very bad because it was open. Arizona, 2,500. These are the states that everybody is just completely shedding on, right? Okay, here you go. New York, deaths, 32,000. 32,000. Florida, 4,600. New York, who had a lockdown, 32,000. But okay, let's just say New York is population density. It's very crazy. It was a very unique situation. So let's not count New York. Let's compare with California. California, where I live in, that had a very, very, very harsh lockdown. California, 7,487 deaths. So let me say that again. California, 7,400 deaths. Florida, 4,600 deaths. One locked down hard, one did not. One has way more deaths than the other one. Again, compared with Texas, 3,700. So Texas, which has a way larger population, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check because I can do this. Population of Texas. Let's see. 29 million. Population of California. 39 million. I was mistaken. Whoops. Sorry. My bad. So let's say if it's roughly a third more than Texas, still it's not comparable. All right. It should be way closer, but again, Texas is more spread out, and it's people are, let's say, social distancing a little bit more without masking, whatever. Point is, it doesn't make any fucking sense. None of it. Another state that was locked down. Which one locked down hard? Ooh, Michigan. 6,351 deaths. You remember Michigan? I've complained about Michigan a lot. Michigan is the state where the governor said that if you own two houses, you cannot move between those houses. You cannot move between your own two houses, even if one is empty, which is fucking insanity. So you can just see the numbers for yourself. You can honestly, this is super easy. COVID deaths in the U.S. in Google. It's the first thing it'll show you up. It'll show you right there. So to me, the thing that really bugs me is the lies, right? And the blatant lies of something that is super easily provable with a simple Google search. Like, I didn't even have to go far. They just showed it to you right there. And how stupid do you think we are, man? Seriously. How stupid. This really upsets me. And just to put it into context, all right? I need you to understand, because let's say California. I'm sticking only with California, all right? California, 7,487 deaths. COVID total. This, again, it started like in February, so we're a good few months in, all right? Let's just say, depending on how you want to see it, it supposedly was in California since February, but it could be March or something like that. But, all right, 7,487. How many deaths do you think happen in the U.S. per day, right? How many deaths do you think? Well, let's find out. Now, a quick Google search to the CDC and their statistics, this is from 2018, tells us that the number of deaths in the U.S. were 2,813,503, which means that if you divide that by 365, you will know how many people die in the U.S. per day. Let's do that. So, 2,813,503 divided by 365 is 7,708. 7,708. And again, how many people have died of COVID in California since it started? Months. 7,487. It makes my blood boil that we're still in this thing. It really, really upsets me. Now, I understand it. I understand certain things. I understand certain precautions. I get it. Masks, whatever. I mean, there's controversial studies. Some studies say that it's good. Some studies say that it's bad. Depends on who you want to see it. My stance on the mask has been pretty consistent. I think they're cool. I feel like a cowboy when I walk out there with my bandana, so I will happily wear my bandana. I understand why people don't want to wear it. It's their right. They feel stupid, but whatever. What bothers me is the lies. All right? We're shutting things down because the numbers went up too high, but we're double counting the positives. We're double counting them. Again, this is one source. Well, it's a bunch of random sources on the internet, and I was directed there by certain people, and then I asked a nurse straight out, and she confirmed it. Now, she could be a liar, or she could be an idiot. I don't know. I'm just saying what she told me, all right? She has she's had access to more information than I do. So, they're double counting the positives, and the deaths in the state of California are still nothing compared. All right, barely reach. All right, they don't even reach the amount of deaths that we have in the U.S. per day. It's a lot. a lot to swallow, and I'm honestly pretty sick of it, and most people are sick of it. And the reason why, because a lot of people tell me, like, well, my sister particularly is like, why do you talk about this? Your show's supposed to be about entertainment. Why don't you just talk about, like, Comic-Con is on next week? Why don't you just talk about that? I will, but I also get messages from people, and they're upset about this, and I'm upset about it. So it's like, you know what? All right, let's talk about it too. I at least want it to be put on the record that I think that this is bullshit. So, record stated. I think this is bullshit. And if you just, again, quick Google search. I honestly like doing this on video. It's like, you can see it right here. You can see that I'm not bullshitting you. It's right there. It's Google. You can just Google it right here. COVID deaths in the U.S. You can make up your own mind. I'm honestly liking the system. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit more of a pain in the ass for doing a few things, but I'm liking it. I feel like it makes me more honest. So hopefully you're enjoying it too. Like I said, well, as always, you know, let's go back to it. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at @SuperDario_World. Like I said, I am planning on talking about Comic-Con. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be doing it tomorrow specifically, or if I'm just gonna wait for Comic-Con week, because there's not much to talk about, and that's coming from me. I'm not overly excited about anything, but you know, news drops. You never know what's gonna happen. These were the big things, I think. Next week, for sure, I will be talking about the Xbox games because I'm very interested about that. But we'll see. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.